Hello and welcome to Clearview News. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. In the news, parents of the six abducted Kaduna school children cry out, say they are yet to be released despite the payment of ransom. More Nigerian youths renew call for a reform of the Almajiri system to curtail criminality in the country. Embattled Hong Kong leader suspends annual union address following heckling in parliament. I am Prudence Okona with the details of these and more stories. The first, angry workers of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company, KEDC, who are demonstrating against alleged failure of the company to pay backlog of salaries and non-remittance of their pension deductions, have vowed to continue in their action after a meeting between union members and the company failed. The protest, which enters its second day on Wednesday, has seen the workers led by leaders of the National Union of Electricity Employees, NEEE, picket the entrance of the company's head office in the state capital, Kaduna. Some of the union members lament, amongst other things, failure of the company to remit over 2 years of pension deductions that was yet to be remitted to the pension fund administrator. The angry union members have vowed not to shift ground, having locked up the gates of the company head office as early as 6 a.m. on Wednesday morning to express their anger. And the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Mohammed, has advocated the speedy resolution of all financial disputes in order to boost investors' confidence in the system. Speaking in Abuja during a national seminar on banking and allied matters for judges, Tanko assured that judiciary will ensure the speedy resolutions of financial disputes in line with constitutional and statutory provisions of the law. Tanko described the timely resolution of disputes as a necessary economic development catalyst. The CJN described the collaboration between the judiciary and the Chartered Institute of Bankers as a morale booster that will foster investor confidence in the nation's financial sector. Speaking also at the seminar, the central bank governor Godwin Emefiele said the delay in addressing cyber risks was capable of triggering a system-wide crisis. Emefiele, who was represented by the CBN Deputy Governor Corporate Services Edward Adamu, called for practical ideas that will be readily implemented to build a legal system that will support the financial system in playing its catalytic role towards fostering a vibrant and growing economy. And parents of the six abducted school children of Engravers College, Kaduna, have denied any involvement by the state government in attempts to secure the release of the abducted students. Addressing newsmen in Kaduna, their aggrieved parents say despite paying the ransom demanded for the release of their loved ones, they are yet to welcome their children into their bosom. The report.
Almost 2 weeks after the abduction of six children from the school in Kaduna, they are yet to be released by the abductors. This is contrary to claims by the state government that the children have been released. Briefing newsmen in Kaduna, the parents of the abducted school children said despite paying various sums of money as ransom, the kidnappers are still holding on to them. The parents spoke through their representative, Paul Chukwemika, who said there is nothing yet to suggest that the state government is involved in seeking the safe rescue of the children.
The government said they were doing everything possible to bring back the girls, but that is only on the paper. We had another version that government is negotiating with the kidnappers, but we, the parents of the students and staff, do not know what the government who is negotiating with the government, because the kidnappers are still calling and threatening us. We were making effort with the kidnappers of our children to release them, and suddenly the kidnappers became wild and said government has come into the case, that government should settle them, because the government pronouncement in Abuja said that government is on top of the situation. Went to the extent of playing the video about the comments that the governor made to us.
And the children paraded last week by the state government is having been released by kidnappers after a series of negotiations. Chukwuemeka said none of them is among those kidnapped from Engravers College.
We want to state clearly that the 6 students and 2 staff abducted from the Engravers College, Kaduna, has not been released. There has been some misinformation in the media about this incident.
As the 6 school children, comprising both boys and girls, remain in captivity, there is already apprehension over the safety of school pupils and students, particularly in primary and secondary schools in Kaduna State.
A 2-day training program on effective intelligence and community surveillance for personnel of the Amak Marshals opened this Wednesday in Abuja. The training program is holding under the auspices of the Atahiru Bafarawa Foundation in collaboration with Abuja Municipal Area Council AMAC. Clefy TV's Joy Esekweyi reports that it is aimed at increasing internal security measures in the Federal Capital Territory.
Almac Marshall as a body assists in complementing the efforts of security agencies in preventing crime within the FCT. At the opening ceremony of the 2-day training program, the Director General at Tahiru Bafarawa Foundation, Dr. Suleiman Shaibu, says the work of Almac Marshals is to enhance internal security by assisting the police to combat crime in the FCT. He therefore called for legal backing for the outfit.
This is the first time this brilliant administrator has established Ahmad Marshal that will assist in combating crime, assist the police and other agencies in combating crime, especially the seat of the president.
The FCT Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abubakar Baba, says Almac Marshals work as informant to the police and that this has helped in tackling security issues in the territory. He, however, urged the Almac Marshals to adhere to constitutional laws by respecting the human rights of individuals as well as steering clear of corruption.
We are happy with this marshal because the marshal will assist police as informants. All the nitty and gritty of this country, of this Abuja municipal, the marshal will engage themselves in sourcing information that will assist police in combating crime. My call on the personnel of the Amak Marshal is to adhere to these stipulated rules, stay clear of corruption.
Also, the chairman of IMAC, Abdullahi Candido, represented by Tanko Ibrahim, says one of the problems in the country is sustainability of policies and programs and expressed the hope that the purpose for setting up AMAC marshals will be sustained.
What necessitated the initiative is just to complement the effort of the conventional security. As we are all aware, security is a global challenge today in the 21st century. So I believe most hands must be on deck to complement the effort of the conventional security. Secondly, we know employment is our major challenges in this side of the world. I believe taking these young men out of the street will go a long way also in combating the security.
For the Marshal General Kasim Chicha, the organization was conceived to help combat crime and assured that it will continue to work tirelessly to ensure that the FCT is a safe place for all. Chicha speaks further on the success story of the outfit.
We conceived the idea of Amak Mashar in order to help our sisters and brothers securities to curb the issue of insecurity in the suburb of FCT, with particular reference to Amak. Part of our activities we did, and it was nationally broadcasted, was the arrest of a fleeing Boko Haram at Utako Market. Everybody knows it and everybody had it. We are also covering the issue of one man chance, how they call it, one chance, around the Kabusa axis, around the Buye axis, around Yanya, Mararaba axis, and Otako axis.
The organization sued for cooperation from the general public to enable it contribute to the quest for the protection of lives and property in the Federal Capital Territory. Joy Isikweyi, reporting for Clearview Television.
As part of efforts to furnish federal government workers with the necessary tools to fight cybercrime, some staff of the Ministry of Education have commenced a 3-day training on combating cybercrime. The Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwadribe Oba, who declared the workshop opening in Abuja, said the training was necessary to actualize the ministry's objective of aligning with the dynamics of the 21st century teaching, learning, and administration. Wajiba said the federal government appreciates the potential of ICT in sustaining the nation's development. The lawyer to Atiku Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate in the 2019 presidential election, Yupen Osagie-Giwa, and his son, Kusegiwa Osagie, have been rearranged in the High Court in Lagos on a 3-count charge of money laundering to the tune of $2 million. The duo was first arraigned before Justice Nicholas Owebo on a 3-count charge bordering on the alleged offense on August 14, when they both pleaded not guilty. An EFCC statement stated that the lead counsel to the first and second defendants, Ahmed Raji and Kwakas Norrison, were represented by Johnson Samuel and Lufemi Ajongi, respectively. The duo were said to have applied in writing to the court to adjourn the matter on the grounds that the lead counsel for both defendants were not in the court. The statement added that the lawyers also informed the court that a letter had been written to the administrative judge of the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, seeking directive to consolidate the case as the same charges were filed against defendants before both Justice Obiozo and Justice Chukwujeku Aneke. Air Force Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command urges personnel to be physically to cope with demand of military profession. The Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command Nigerian Air Force Makodi Air Vice Marshal Charles Ogwo has urged personnel of the Tactical Air Command to be physically fit at all times so as to be able to cope with the demand of military profession.
Air Force personnel who participated in the fourth quarter road march exercise were drawn from the Nigerian Air Force Base, Makodi. At the completion of the exercise, the officer commanding Tactic Air Command, Charles Obu, said the successful outing is a clear demonstration of the combat readiness of the personnel.
As you are aware, this is a routine exercise, road march, that is done quarterly. For you to cope with the demands of our job, we must be physically and mentally fit. And one of those avenues to be physically fit, apart from the 10 kilometers walk jog and the weekly games, is this route march.
The Nigerian Air Force had carried out similar exercise during the first, second, and third quarter of 2019. The objective is to keep the personnel in better form to meet any emergency situation in contributing to efforts as protecting and sustaining national security.
Stakeholders at a biennial conference on geospatial information have stressed the important role geomapping plays in the defeat of insurgency in Nigeria. This came to the fore as zonal directors and chief resident surveyors begin a 2-day biannual conference in Abuja with the theme Integration of Geospatial Information, Fundamental Input in National Security and Infrastructural Development. Correspondent Francis Etugo has the details.
Speaking at the occasion, the acting Surveyor General of the Federation, Taiwo Adeniran, stressed that geospatial information mapping has a significant role to play in national development and therefore cannot be ignored, while urging practical